back on the coast path. I have got, 4 days starting in Exmouth and hoping to get as far as Weymouth on Sunday. It's currently Thursday. You may have noticed the weather's a little bit different from that clip that I showed you at the start of the video, and that's because that was filmed a couple of weeks back. I think I mentioned in my last walk when I had to stop at Starcross, the ferry wasn't running from Starcross to Exmouth at that time. So I wanted to do that section, but the problem is I think the ferry doesn't start running until about 10 o'clock in the morning, and I thought that was a bit of a late start for me. So anyway, I sort of came back to Starcross a couple of weeks back, got the ferry over to Exmouth just to say I've done that bit, and then this morning I've got the train to Exmouth, and then yeah, we're going to carry on from here. So just walking along the sort of seafront here now at Exmouth, and yeah, heading for Sidmouth today, just a little bit beyond Sidmouth, camping at a place in Salcombe Regis. Yeah, so anyway, it's hazy and a bit misty at the moment, but the forecast for the next few days is due to be bright, sunshine and nice and warm. So yeah, I want to get going and try and get some hills done before that heat comes, because yeah, it's going to be hot and quite hard walking, because I've got the big bag back on this time, and it's been 7 months since I've been out with the big pack, so I know it's going to be a challenging few days. We've got a lot of hills, we've got some high cliffs to get up as well, so it's going to be a good walk, but let's get on with it and yeah, see what the next few days brings. So the Geoneedle back there towards Exmouth marks the start of the Jurassic Coast. So the rest of the southwest coast path now from here, the Geoneedle, all the way up to Southaven Point, follows the Jurassic Coast. So, you know, dinosaur country. So yeah, look out for fossils, any prehistoric fauna, and perhaps even Rexy himself might make an appearance. But yeah. Anyway, it's warming up now. A bit of a climb out of Exmouth, only gentle, but it's enough to warm me up. The mist is sort of lifted ever so slightly. It's going to continue to improve throughout the morning. But yeah, just heading on now towards, well, I think there's a military firing range up ahead. I can hear some gunshots just out on the headland in front of me. And then on beyond that towards Budleigh Salterton. Right, so the coast path now comes through Devon Cliffs Holiday Park, and we're just overlooking the firing range at Straight Point. And the firing is obviously going on today. It's quite loud. I wonder what the holiday makers think of it when they sort of book. I wonder if there's any warning literature on their website telling you that your peaceful mornings may be somewhat disturbed. Anyway, yeah, carrying on past the firing range shortly, through the holiday homes here, and then on towards Budleigh Salterton. Told you it was loud. some signs here of a recent-ish cliff fall. You know, the farmer's crop's been sown on the other side of the fence. It looks like a pretty fresh slip there in the middle, and now the path's been moved in and a new fence has been erected. So yeah, I'd say that's been fairly recent. Sometime this year I expect that's gone. Right, I'm still in that same field. Larger landslides up on this section. Working harder now. Came through Devon Cliffs Holiday Park, through that field where there was the cliff falls there, and then a small but fairly steep climb up onto the top of this cliff. Now we're about 1.5 miles from Budleigh. Yeah, very hot now. Sort of, it's funny because when I was walking in the earlier part of the year and the weather was a lot cooler, I was envisaging what it would be like to be back out on the path in the warmer months and sort of feel that stifling heat that you get when you're penned in on either side by these hedgerows. And well, that's exactly what I've got now. There's sort of no breeze here, and every breath I'm taking is sort of not quite satisfying my need for the oxygen. But yes, yeah, beautiful now. Really, really nice day. Long may it continue. See those whiter sections there in the rock straight ahead? They are fossilised plant roots. Apparently this was once a desert landscape, and the plants that grew here sent their roots deep down to search for any water they could find. And then as the rivers disappeared, the plants died, but their roots were fossilised. So this is Budleigh Salterton, just walking along the sort of pebble beach. Stopped a little bit further back at the start of Budleigh and had something to eat, put on some suntan lotion, because even though it's not super hot, I can feel that sun is there today. Anyway, we're just coming towards the end of Budleigh Salterton, and then we have to cut inland before we get to a bridge where we can then cross over the River Otter and then back down towards the coast. Once we're back down on the coast, head on towards Ladram Bay. I'm on the far side of the River Otter now, so we've walked that inland section, crossed the bridge, walking now on the far side, back out towards the coast. It's only a small inland section, maybe, I don't know, adding maybe another 3/4 of a mile onto the walk. Well, it's not adding it onto the walk, it is the walk, you've got to do it, that's the coast path. But yeah, you know, you sort of feel like you're going the wrong way because you're coming away from the sea a little bit. But anyway, no, we're heading back towards the sea now. A few more hills coming up, looking at the maps for this next section, but we're going to get some nice views on towards Ladram Bay once we get to the top of this next hill. Now, it's not often I show you the view looking inland, but today these Devon hills are looking absolutely incredible. It's that time of year where everything's green, the leaves are out and the trees, the sun's out, sort of warm haze in the sky. Beautiful. So that was Brandy Head Observation Post, and the sign there says that you can book to actually stay there. So yeah, if you're in this area and you want to stay somewhere remote and peaceful and right on the coast path, and that's a good option. The sign also said that all were welcome to use the benches there out the front, so I took full advantage of that. Nice bit of shade, sat down, had a drink. And the sign also said that Brandy Head, its name comes from the smuggling that used to go on in this area. One of the main items of contraband was brandy, so yeah, that's where the name Brandy Head comes from. Anyway, yeah, just looking down now onto Ladram Bay, and I can actually see my end point for the day of Sidmouth, and unfortunately my campsite is a bit beyond Sidmouth, and I can see, well, I knew there was a hill to get up after Sidmouth before I get to my campsite, and now I've seen it. Yeah, I'm not really looking forward to it, but anyway, better to get it out the way today, because tomorrow is a longer day. So yeah, it'd be good to sort of push on, get that hill done, and it's one less to worry about tomorrow. So just walked through Ladram Bay Holiday Park. I like that one. I thought it was nicer than that Devon Cliffs Holiday Park earlier, back towards Exmouth. Less bullets and gunfire probably, but no, the beach there looked nice. Nice sort of rock stacks there in the bay, and the site itself actually looked quite nice. Nice park for the children, nice water park, splash zone. Anyway, yeah, so now just come through the holiday park, and I've got a bit of a sort of, well, a bit of a mountain in front of me. I think it's called High Peak, and it's reminiscent of being back up on the north coast again, but you know, that's all fine. It's what we love doing, and the views from the top I'm sure will be amazing, but just got to get there first. Well, I think I'm at the top. It's a bit hard to know because the hill actually went up through a woodland, so it was quite pleasant. It was steep, but you know, the woodland sort of gave you the shade. So yeah, it made it a bit easier, but it's leveled out now, so I think I'm at the top. But the path has sort of come into this plantation, and I haven't actually got a view looking over the edge towards the sea. So what I thought might be some spectacular views once I got up the top here, so far I'm a bit disappointed, but still, it's a nice walk here through the plantation. Maybe in a minute we'll come out the other side and the views will open up again. Can I get by, please? Thank you. So walking down off High Peak now, heading downhill in towards Sidmouth, And in my head I feel like that's the end of today's walk, but I've actually still got another 3.5 miles to go on to Salcombe Regis, where I'm camping this evening, but there's no food on site, so whatever I want for tea I need to either eat now, but it's a bit early, it's only about 1:45, or pick up something to take on for the campsite later, but obviously that limits what I can have. So anyway, I'll probably sort of hang around for a little bit in Sidmouth, maybe have something to eat because it's still early, and I got enough time to do the 3.5 miles before the campsite reception shuts around 5:30. So yeah, I'll get into Sidmouth, have a little look around, and then we'll see what we fancy doing from there. So that's me leaving Sidmouth. I sort of stopped there for about an hour, had a pint, got chatted to a nice couple, and anyway, they offered to buy me another drink, but very kind of them. But I've got this huge hill in front of me now to climb up, and I don't know, I think 2 pints in wouldn't be the best preparation for what's to come. So anyway, yeah, really nice sort of sitting there in the sun. But anyway, yeah, another 3 miles I think now onto our campsite. So let's try and get up this hill and then see what's to come. Oh, right, that's me part way up. The first part of the hill is through some residential streets, so it's quite easy walking up pavements. You know, it's quite steep, but along pavement, so not too bad. And then we've just had this sort of open green space behind me. Again, pretty easy going, but quite long and steady. So there's a bench here. I've just sort of sat down and just been enjoying that view, because that's, yeah, quite a good excuse to sit down and get your breath back. Anyway, I think I'm about halfway, so I'm going to push on now. The next bit looks as though it's through some woodland, so I'll bring you back once we get up to the top. Right, made it to the top, feeling a little bit lightheaded. I don't know if that's altitude sickness or the pint of Thatcher's. Anyway, no, it was all right actually, not too bad. I think I've got another big climb, one more to do before we get to the campsite. I think another 2 miles to go, so yeah, nearly there now. It's felt like a fairly easy day. The walking's been pretty good. A little bit wet in places, but nothing too bad. You know, a couple of tiptoey around the edge sort of parts, but yeah, no, it's drying out quite nicely. Probably about 3 or 4 hills on this section of any note, but apart from that, yeah, fairly good, easy walking. But yeah, bring you back in a minute when we get a bit further on, possibly at that next big hill that I mentioned. Well, there's said hill. That's what I thought I had to get up before reaching my campsite, but I just had a chat to some locals, and yeah, they actually told me that for me to get to my campsite I don't need to go up that hill. I go up this valley here behind me, So that hill is actually tomorrow morning's problem, so I'm quite pleased about that. I've checked my map as well, and actually my route that I'd planned did show up this valley as well. I just had in my head for some reason that was today, but anyway, yeah, that was good that I bumped into them, because they've put me on the right path. So we got about another 1.3 miles up the valley onto the campsite. What a good day. That's me all set up now at Salcombe Regis campsite. They're really nice here, really friendly. It's only well, they say it's a small site. I think it looks quite big, but yeah, it's not on the scale of the Ladram Bay sort of site that we were at earlier, but really friendly. The reception closed at 5:30. She did say she could stay and wait for walkers until 6, but I got here at 4 o'clock, and you know, I wasn't rushing. So yeah, no, it was really good. Good showers, no food on site. They got a little shop there, so I've got a couple of snacks, and I picked up a pasty down in Sidmouth. So yeah, all good for this evening. But yeah, that's where we're going to leave today's video. Join me tomorrow. We'll be getting up early because we've got a big day tomorrow. Where are we going? We are going to Ladram Regis. So tomorrow will be the day where we take on the Undercliffs finally. So yes, really pleased. I'm really looking forward to that. I know a lot of people put it down and don't enjoy it, but you know, I am looking forward to that. So hopefully this time tomorrow I will still be of the same opinion. But yeah, anyway, come back on the next walk and find out how I get on. Thanks for watching, and see you again soon.